Well. Welcome to the channel, guys. And we have some interesting news. The Sixers just signed Kelly Oubre Jr. And wow, I'm very excited for the signing. I think this builds up our roster tremendously. We needed a signing like this. We need a player like this who has athleticism, who's going to yam it on people. We need this. We need this signing. I'm so happy. Honestly, I think he has a high chance of being sixth man of the year. I think he's definitely going to be our sixth man. I mean, I'm thinking about a roster. Tobias Harris is probably still going to start, but this is a very good signing, and it's all up to James Harden now. My other videos were mostly about James Harden. The James Harden news, trending rumors kind of laid down a little bit. We stopped talking with the Clippers as much, but in a couple of weeks, we're probably going to hear more rumors about that. But I'm going to talk to you about Kelly Oubre because that's the man of the day right now. So Kelly Oubre is 27 years old. He's going to be entering his 9th season in the league, and he's developed into a solid scorer. He averaged 20.3 points last year in 48 games for the Hornets. He's a career 43% shooter from the field, and he averages around 32 minutes per game last season in Charlotte. He missed a chunk of last season after having a surgery to fix his torn ligament in his hand, but returned after the All-Star break. After spending his first 3 years in the league with Washington Wizards, Oubre spent time with the Phoenix Suns and Golden State Warriors before landing in Charlotte in 2021. And honestly, after losing Jalen McDaniels, I thought that was a really big hit for us because I thought we could re-sign him for a smaller, cheap deal. But this signing just proves that, Morey did have something up his sleeve. I don't know if he knew it was going to be Kelly Oubre, but I think that's a big upgrade from Jalen McDaniels to Kelly Oubre. I think Oubre is honestly a better scorer at this point of his career. I think he's a better defender, honestly. I mean, he averages a steal and a half almost every season he's played in. He's 6'6", 6'7". I like this signing. 1 year. I mean, we have a lot of 1 year signings like Mo Bamba, Patrick Beverley. I think we stacked our depth. Like our depth is stacked right now. There's many players who honestly we're going to be in a rotation is not going to be in a rotation right now. Like Daniel House, he better not even touch the court. Daniel House better not touch the court because we have all these players. Like Daniel House should not be touching the court. Furkan Korkmaz should not be touching the court. Even though he's still on the team, he's been demanding trades. Just trade him. Trade him for nothing. Trade him for cash. Like trade him for 25K. Because Furkan deserves to be on a team, and play minutes. Like on the Hornets, he will probably get at least 20 minutes a game. So, trade him. I'm trying to think of other players who honestly wouldn't play anymore. Oh, I was forgetting Danny Green. Danny Green should not be playing on the court. That's all I got to say. And James Harden. I mean, I hate him. I really do hate him. I would rather take Ben Simmons over James Harden. And I know that might sound crazy, but I am so serious. I would rather take Ben Simmons than James Harden. If you could do that trade, I would do that. Ben Simmons talked about how Philly was his second home. Great. It should be. You were here for 5 years? Let's get Simmons back. Come on, guys, come on. Let's make some chants during the season and say we want Simmons. We want Simmons. Please. I think it would be a great story, honestly. Ending to a story. I think for Ben Simmons to really be what he wanted to be, he's going to have to come back to Philly. I feel like that's where his demons are, and he needs to fight his demons. People might hate it, but for him to succeed, I think that's what he needs to do. That's what he's scared of, and you have to face that fear. That's what he ran away from. You got to come back and face it. That's how I look at it, and people may look at it differently, but that's how I look at it. So Nick Nurse was on a podcast, and he was asked how he's going to integrate Tobias Harris into his system. And this is quotes from what he said. There's so much more he could possibly do, and I kind of want him to settle in and play the role that he's been playing. But I do want him to dream outside that role and expand outside that role eventually. I do keep a pretty loose lid on the roles, if that makes any sense, because I think there are some guys maybe that never shot three-pointers before, and they're not bad at shooting three-pointers, and just never really had the opportunity to, like Paul Reed. That's actually crazy he dropped Paul Reed into this. But I'm looking forward to a big year for Tobias Harris. I think he needs to pick up that leadership role. I think last year we've seen him, especially in the playoffs, there was a couple of games where he really set the tone. He had aggressive manner. I think he needs that every game. He needs to, because people are going to follow that. If Tobias Harris is mean and mean mugging every game and he's aggressive and he's talking trash, the whole team's going to do that. I really think that Tobias Harris is the vocal leader on this team. Same with Embiid. Embiid needs to be more aggressive and show dominance. But especially for Tobias Harris, he needs to set that tone. And Tobias Harris is going to do that. I think, especially for him, he needs to work on his catch and shoot threes. He's going to have a lot of open threes again. So become a 40% 3-point shooter every game, almost every game, and just become consistent. I think he'll be fine. He'll have a great year. Nick Nurse then talks about Paul Reed's shooting mechanics and talks about how they went on to fix his mechanics, and they said it's just minor adjustments. So it's not drastically, changing, because I saw him shooting like a couple weeks ago and it looked pretty much the same. But Nick Nurse is already predicting he's going to have a great season, a great season. And I'm so excited to watch Paul Reed, because I feel like us as Sixers fans, we've been saying this the whole time, give Paul Reed a chance. And this is a coach who's come in and said, yeah, Paul Reed is going to be an all-star. I want him to be like a Siakam type player. I trust him like that. And that's what he needs. I talked about this in another video. He needs a coach that believes in him, a coach that trusts him, and a coach that wants him to succeed. Doc made it look like this guy was a bum. Doc made it look like this guy was dumb, literally dumb. Like, oh, there's no point in him playing. He doesn't know any of the rules. He doesn't know any of our plays. He's just undisciplined. He fouls too much. Yeah, he fouls so much because when he gets in, he's probably so excited because he doesn't play that he plays so hard, then he gets fouled. I mean, that's what happens. So, and that's why I love Paul Reed. He's hard worker. He really came straight out of the mud. You know how he is, man. Worked his way up, my career style. He's literally my player from 2K, bro. Like, he has that story. But, I'm making a prediction for his season this year. I'm going to say he's going to average 13 points. This is a great year if he does this. 10 boards, 10 boards. 13 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, 2 blocks. That's Paul Reed's season next year. And that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you if you made it this far. Drop a like, give me subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.